It's Enlightenment Garden. We are in April here, 2025. While the heat isn't here, it's coming, and I want to make sure that my yard has plentiful water sources for birds. If you followed me, you know that I have a lot of water features in the yard. I have a pond that was built by Pond Gnome several years back, and I have a couple cast concrete fountains. A tiered fountain that's a little bit more formal, has 3 tiers, as well as more of a bubbling type urn fountain that you see in the right hand corner there. And I just added a 4th one, and it's running right here beside me. And in this video I'm going to break down how I put this together and how you too can add a budget-friendly DIY bubbling fountain to your backyard. To create a base for this water feature, I just used some random cinder block that I had around the yard. So these are the full cinder blocks. I have 3 of those abutted against each other, and then up on the top fits this patio paver perfectly, this large format patio paver. For my basin, I went with an HDPE plastic. This is made by Fortiflex, and I found this at my local Tractor Supply. It is around 17-gallon capacity. It's really important that you get something that's food safe, like this material, because you don't want to poison the birds. You don't want BPA or other toxins leaching into the water that they're bathing and drinking from. So for my base, you can see I've got a half-core cinder block in here. This is going to house the pump and also serve as a foundation or a base for my water feature. I actually stacked 2 of these up because I need to bring the level up a little bit taller. So you can see this is sitting just slightly above the lip, which is perfect. You basically just need a fairly low volume pump. Nothing too strong because we're not pumping a large amount of water. We just want a bubbling effect. This does have an adjustable flow rate on the top, so you can tweak that slightly. And then you're going to need some tubing as well to bring that up to the top where the water feature will be. So this pump will just go in to the bottom here. Alright, so my top part of my fountain consists of 2 parts. I have a platform here, so the birds, don't fall in. That's pretty important. You want something that's going to go almost nearly the full diameter of the pot, but obviously you want it to be smaller in diameter than the top of your pot so that the water can fall off the sides as it's bubbling up through the middle. The other important thing is you want to pick the right material. You do not want a porous material like flagstone. I have tons of pieces of flagstone in my yard, but I know from experience that if flagstone gets repeatedly hit by water, it is going to start to disintegrate, so that is not a good option. So unfortunately, I could not find a patio paver, concrete patio paver, around 18 inches in diameter, so I had to fashion my own. I picked up this porcelain patio paver from Lowe's. It was not in this format. As you can see, the ridges are not perfectly smooth, and that's because I had to cut this from a squared piece. So this patio paver cost about 20 bucks. I already had a masonry saw with a diamond blade, and that's how I achieved the circular pattern. Another option is you could get a cast mold for an 18-inch stone, and go and create your own cast concrete. I didn't go that route because that would not be cost effective for one piece. You have to get, the mold, the concrete, a bunch of tools in order to do that. And since I was just doing this one, it was better to just find the materials. Ideally, if you can find an 18-inch concrete paver or non-porous type material like a porcelain paver, that's awesome. You don't have to cut it. Now you will have to get a diamond core bit in order to drill the hole. So this is a 1/2-inch hole that I drilled through, and that's what's going to allow our pump line to go through for the bubbling effect. Because this feature is for hummingbirds specifically, they don't really like perching flat on something. They want to really grip their feet into a rock like they would naturally. So not only do I have this base, but I also took a riprap piece of granite that I have in the yard, a more flat, broad piece, and did the same thing and cored a hole through the granite. In my case, the pump came with a slightly different diameter tubing than what I needed. I just wanted 1/2-inch tubing, which is what this clear plastic is. This happens to fit exactly inside of the black tubing that you saw. So that's how I'm just bringing it up onto this basin, and you can see the gapping all the way around, and that's going to allow the water to flow. From here, you can just touch your boulder, line it up with this plastic. So on location, this is the west, and this is south. And over here is east. So we get that morning light, like we are right now, from the east, but as the sun moves across the sky this way, this area is going to be fully in shade by 11 a.m., which is important because you don't want that water to get hot and boil. You want this to be refreshing and cool for the birds. So this will be in shade when it matters. I hope you found this video useful if you too are trying to create an area of respite for wildlife in your backyard. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening.